All right, we got a lot to get to today, so we'll jump right into it. Alex, Barth, Scott Zolak on this Patriots training camp recap brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. Zoe, before we can get to the on-field work and the pads came on, it was a big day. The Matthew Judon saga, another turn today. He came out with the team for stretching, not in uniform, did not stretch, was sitting over on the side on some, pads, kind of mingled on the field for a little bit, went off the field, came back, spoke with some members of the Patriots front office, head coach Gerard Mayo, then went back off the field. He's, tweeting, texting, whatever on his way off, and we did not see him again today. Now this comes as Drew Rosenhaus, the agent for Devon Godshaw, was here. Godshaw's looking for a new contract, as is Judon. What did you see? You had the better view from all the way up here. What did you see from Matthew Judon today?
I couldn't see the expressions. I know Matt pretty well. Being around him and covering him since they first picked him up at the start of free agency. And I love his energy. I love being around him. Like, he's one of the guys I would want to hang out with because he makes football fun. And he wears his emotions on his sleeve, good or bad.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a lot of the bad. I see a lot of good with Judon. And to see sort of the head hang and the typing on the phone, and as he's leaving, he shouted something back towards, I think, Elliot Wolf and Matt Groh.
Yeah.
I don't know what the conversation was there, but he's probably seen another guy get taken care of in Devon Godshaw with Drew Rosenhaus here, coming off the Barmore story of having the blood clots, that your defense going to have to do something different here up front. Your front seven has now changed. And he's a big part of it, Matt Judon should be. And I think he views himself as being a big part of it. The problem is here, when you allow these guys to go out there and talk, and I know Gerard's big on, hey, if they feel this way and you feel like you should say something, go ahead and say something, but let's put it to rest. Then you come out with no pads on. Now, one thing doesn't look like the other. All these other guys are in pads. So, and I go back to covering a team last 20 years, the way I did with Bill. And, Bill wouldn't let him sit there in sweatpants lying on
it just wasn't a good look body language-wise.
It's too casual. I read the body language. Body language did not look good. I think crazy things initially. I think potential trade. Did they just tell him, hey, we got something on the table, but you have to sign an extension with this team? I don't know. I think everything's in play.
Is it that, or is it as simple as Devon Godshaw got paid? And again, his agent was here today and all that. And he looks at that and say, all right, everybody else is taken care of. Where's my, where's my deal?
I think we could hear that Devon got done, and maybe they were conveying to Matt today at practice on the sideline that, hey, we offered you that bump. We're staying there. We're not coming up much more from that. Do you want to talk? And maybe that's where it sort of got a little pissed off for him.
And it would just be wild because of all the guys that got paid this offseason. Look, Kyle Duggar is a guy you take care of. That made sense. Kendrick Bourne is a guy you take care of. Even Jabril Peppers the other day. These are guys, Mike Onwenu, it made sense to keep. But with some of the other players they've paid, to pay those guys over Matthew Judon, who has been really since Tom Brady left, has anybody been the face of this franchise, at least successfully as a player, more than Matthew Judon?
He's one of the few guys that have juice. He's a colorful player. He comes out, the teammates like him. I see him in the locker room. I see him on trips. I see the way he works with fans, home and away. He does this away games, too.
And he still did it today.
Fans eat it up, yeah. We'll see if he does it tomorrow. That's
if he's
a
out
big
here.
Indicator. Get your ass out here early tomorrow. Yeah.
See if he's playing catch.
I hope he signs back here. I hope they find a way to work this thing out.
Too.
They're so far under the cap. I just think you need him. And again, to what we started doing these shows with last week when we first brought him up, I'm out there in Cincinnati. I want him in the huddle going after Joe Burrow's first snap.
All right. Speaking of week 1 in Cincinnati, the quarterback battle, who's going to be under center? Really good day for Jacoby Brissett today. I would say he's stacking days at this point. He looks in command of the offense. I've been impressed with how well he's thrown off platform. Had another couple of those throws. He had 2 deep throws today to Tyquan Thornton right in the bucket. He's gotten off to a great start here in camp.
He has, and it's a credit to him because all the attention's on Drake May. That's what people want to see. It's what people want to talk about. When you bring a journeyman in like that and you pay him $8 million, I like the way he's taking care of his body. He looks like a different guy, and I think obviously learned a lot of that stuff from Tom and saw how Tom did that towards the end of his career and revitalized the end of his career. I would call this Separation Monday. I would call today Separation Monday for Jacoby Brissett from the rest of the pack. Milton struggled. Obviously, May struggled.
Yeah, today. Talk to me about Drake May's day today.
Just uncertain on things. I thought he held the ball long on the deep play actions because you're going to get your head taken off. And he kind of slid up and then starts running, but there's no contact. There's a 3 kill. I counted about 3 or 4 kill shots. And that's why they're going to, take their time and not play him. But Brissett did everything he had to do with the reps that he got today. And the receivers battled for him. Some of those balls, contested catches, gone up and get them. And I know the receivers started to pop a little bit yesterday.
Javon Baker has put together a couple of impressive days.
Baker's looked good. I think Thornton had a nice catch too. So early in camp that people went nuts about. So he's the guy that's really got to pop because I think he's on the outside looking in right now.
I agree, but with the pads on for Tyquan Thornton, we talked about this after his big first day that, all right, you got to be able to do it with contact. He did. I just want to go back to Drake May real quick because we know how physically gifted he is, and we've seen that so far in camp, but this is why people say even with that, you maybe have to wait. He's just not, I don't think, seeing the field as well as you want him to. And there was one play today where the blitz is, I mean, I could see from up on the hill, I'm like, they're going to bring it here. And if he recognizes that and he throws hot and he throws into it, he has Javon Baker on a slant right behind it. Instead, he rolls all the way out, throws it away, and was clearly frustrated with himself after the play. He's got, a month here to learn this, but this is when we talk about the growth of Drake May. He can throw it a mile. He can throw it on the move. He can throw it sidearm. We know that, but that's only going to go as far as does he know what he's looking at.
I think you have an internal clock as a quarterback, and that's the one thing, that's the biggest indicator for when you're not reading things or seeing things well. What you do is you try and use your feet to get you out of trouble. And that's when you start taking off, but he's gonna learn at the closing speed at this level. You got guys
a little quicker than the ACC.
You got edge guys at 265 running 4.4. They'll close that gap quickly and they'll make you pay on the sideline.
They didn't even have their best edge guy out there today. And Matthew Judon wasn't practicing. We did see, speaking of the edge, the offensive line in pads. It looks like we have tackles. It looks like there are consistent tackles. It's the rookie Caden Wallace on the left side, Chukes Okorafor on the right. No David Andrews today, so we didn't get the full 5.
Not worried about that. No. I think he'll be back out here tomorrow, the day after. There's nothing to be concerned with Andrews. But gun to my head, as I know David and I watch David play, I think you solidify the middle. And this is where, people would try to get to Brady is up the middle. Brady can handle edge stuff because you got a blitzer coming free. You can handle that.
Yeah.
It's the internal middle pressure. I think if you ask David, or if you look at the best internal guys you have right now, I go City So left guard, David Andrews center, Michael Weno right guard. And then hopefully Okorafor is going to stick it left. And maybe Calvin Anderson gives you something at right tackle, or the Wallace kid. And I know they flipped Okorafor too. So we'll see how this thing plays out, but at least stabilize the internal middle of your line. Nothing worse than doing deep play action. If they're going to do a lot of that, is have a middle free guy coming right up over the center of the guard gap.
And that looks stabilized. I would even say some of the depth guys, the rookie Layden Robinson today, when on the second team, when they were running the ball, opening holes, him and Calvin Anderson, I thought they ran the ball well. Kevin Harris had a really good day today. As we wrap it up here, Zone, again, this Patriots training camp recap is brought to you by Starland Sportsplex and Fun Park in Hanover. Any other observations from the first padded practice?
Sort of the same tempo as Friday. And Jim Miller from XM Sirius NFL Radio, he was on with us. He had some of the West Coast stuff, and it's the Bedard take of these practices are a little bit sluggish. They're going to be long because they're trying to really pound in these type of plays, and they want them to work.
Do you think there's any chance that, again, it's usually a high energy day with pads on. It wasn't today. Right. Maybe just the Christian Barmore news looming a little bit, and it's a little bit tougher of a day to get going?
I just think day one's always tougher to get going because it's the grind of, okay, 4 days in, now we're putting on the knee braces. Now we're putting on the leg pads. Now we got the tight pants on. Now I got to tape this ankle up. And you're getting a little bit of a malaise.
Okay.
And that shouldn't be happening day one of pads. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But this is where Gerard's got to sense it and do something to get this thing going. I would say, guys, line up. We're going 8 plays goal line tomorrow.
They haven't done any goal line yet, which that used to be a feature. That's all they would do.
That was quintessential. End of practice. Guys would get geeked up for that. It's O versus D. Throw them a reward. Offense, you meet tonight. Defense, you got the night off. Something like that.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Anything specific you're looking for tomorrow?
Well, we'll see how the rain. I think it's a good week where you're getting out there. It's chillier today.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good day to be in pads. But a little sloppy at times with some of the throws on low inside cut routes like the slants.
Some drops,
I want to see some better accuracy by the quarterbacks, especially in individual drills.
All right, we'll see. We'll be back with more tomorrow right here on the Sports Hub YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe. You can also get these shows on the Sports Hub Patriots audio feed, wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, myself and Matt Dolph will have more coverage on 98.5thesportshub.com. Until tomorrow, for Scott Zolak, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for tuning in.